Stop whatever you're doing right now. You accomplished something incredible. You did something very recently, something that had a massive impact on the spiritual world. Your eyes can't see it, but your actions left God speechless. Stay with me because this changes your reality from this very second. Listen very carefully, because this is not a coincidence. What you did wasn't ordinary. It was so powerful that Archangel Michael, the leader of the armies of heaven, the same one who defeated Lucifer, stopped his missions to focus all his attention on you. Listen carefully to this. What you demonstrated was supposed to be impossible, especially for someone who has endured all the pain you have carried. Someone with your burden had every reason in the world to react violently or give up, but you didn't. You didn't respond as everyone expected. Before we continue, stay with me. Subscribe to this channel right now. Every action you take is seen by God. Don't get distracted for a second because I'm going to reveal the exact moment when heaven stopped to look at you, and that will forever change the way you see yourself. You've won battles in silence that no one acknowledged, but God saw it all. Don't close the video now because I'm going to show you the exact attitude that caught divine attention and why Archangel Michael personally asked to review your case. This defines everything that's coming for your life from today onward. Write 777 in the comments if you felt something change inside you lately, like you crossed a line and you're not the same person you used to be. Let me explain something to make sense of it all. In heaven, millions of souls are being watched. Angels record every reaction. Most people are predictable. If they're hurt, they become bitter. If they're betrayed, they seek revenge. If there's injustice, they react with anger. It's what humans have done for thousands of years. But every now and then, someone like you does something so unexpected and so contrary to human nature that it creates a moment of awe in the heavens. Listen to this carefully. You created one of those moments. It was recently, during one of your most difficult experiences, when you felt that everything was designed to destroy you. The burden was unbearable. Anyone would have understood if you had given up or fought back with the same darkness that was thrown at you. But you did something different. I'm not saying you only survived because of stubbornness. That doesn't impress angels. I'm saying you chose grace when you had every right to choose destruction. Stay here. Don't ignore this message. Do you remember? It might have been that conversation where you could have said something that would have shattered the other person, but you chose silence, or that opportunity to expose someone's mistake, and you decided to protect them, or that moment where you could have left and no one blamed you, but you stayed and kept trying. In that precise second, when you didn't do what your pain demanded, the entire heavens were watching you. That revealed what your soul is made of. You showed that your reactions don't depend on your problems, but on who you are inside. Most people act like a mirror. If they're treated well, they're fine. If they're treated badly, they become bad. Their character depends on the external climate, but you show that you're grounded. Nothing external can force you to be someone you don't want to be. Let me tell you what was seen in heaven. Your guardian angel has been noting each of your struggles and decisions. It's a normal process. But when you chose grace over righteous anger, your angel did something that almost never happens. He flagged your case for urgent review by higher authorities. You're not behind. You're being reserved for something greater. Listen carefully to this. Angels only escalate a case when they see something that breaks all the rules. Your situation went straight to the Archangel's level. When the report reached Michael, he was engaged in battles of unimaginable scale, strategic operations that determined the spiritual climate of entire regions. But when he saw your file, he stopped in his tracks. There was a note attached to your case that immediately caught their attention. It read, "This soul demonstrated enemy-level forgiveness while under active attack." Stay with me and listen carefully, because that sentence changes everything. In spiritual warfare, there's a system for classifying how we humans react to pain. The norm is revenge, bitterness, or depression. That doesn't surprise anyone up there, because these are recurring patterns. But there's an extremely rare category called transcendent response. This happens when a human being responds to evil with good, when you respond to hatred with love, or choose to bless the person who is hurting you at that very moment. This behavior is so uncommon that it triggers an automatic alert for an archangel to review it. It indicates that your soul is operating at a frequency far beyond normal human capacity. You triggered that flag. Miguel reviewed your entire recent history. He looked at every problem you faced, every response you gave, and every internal battle you fought alone, the ones no one else saw. And what he found was so shocking that he did something extraordinary. He requested a direct hearing to discuss your case. Don't ignore this message, because this is serious. Understand what this means. Archangel Michael commands armies and has universal responsibilities. For him to specifically request time to speak about a single human soul means that what you did was so remarkable that it warranted that level of attention. You are not alone in this. There's a reason you are hearing this today. The discussion that took place concerning you changed how heaven will handle your life from now on. Before we continue, I want you to do something important. Comment below the phrase, "I accept divine review." This helps other chosen ones like you receive this message of comfort. Every part of what I tell you matters, so don't move. For those who feel they need to delve deeper and understand how the chosen ones operate under this special attention, I've left exclusive material in the description and pinned comment. But listen to what follows, because what was discussed about you in the celestial court is what truly matters for your immediate future. What happened next was on the highest levels. Michael presented your case to the Divine Council, and he didn't do so as someone presenting a problem that needs solving or a situation that requires help. No, he presented you as an example of something extraordinary that is happening right now in the human world. He showed them the exact moment you chose grace. He reenacted your inner struggle, demonstrating how your human nature was pulling you in one direction, while something much deeper within you was choosing the opposite path. Then, she showed them your whole story. Because that moment of grace wasn't a one-off stroke of luck. It was part of a pattern, a consistent way of living where you choose the hard path over the easy one. She showed how you maintained your integrity when no one was watching, how you were kind to people who didn't deserve it and who will probably never thank you. That pattern revealed something that stopped even the most ancient celestial beings in their tracks. They realized something. You've been acting like one of the chosen ones without even knowing you were. This is what shocked them most. Not that you did something great once, but that you've been choosing greatness day after day without recognition, without rewards, and without any guarantee that your decisions mattered. You did the right thing simply because it was the right thing to do, over and over again, when it was easy and when it cost you everything. Listen carefully and don't move, because this constant integrity is what separates ordinary souls from those born for an extraordinary purpose. And then God spoke. It wasn't a human voice. It was a divine impression communicated with perfect clarity to everyone present. What he said about you is something I need you to receive with great care. Remember, these are not my words. It is what was communicated about your soul. He said that you remind him why he created human beings. Stop for a second and think about this. The creator of all, the one who formed the galaxies with his word, the infinite intelligence that designed every atom in the universe, observed your choices and your grace under fire, and said that you are the reason he created humanity. Do you know why? Because you demonstrated something that not even angels can demonstrate. Angels live in the constant presence of God's glory. They obey because disobeying his presence is virtually impossible. Their faithfulness comes from seeing divine reality face to face. But you don't. Humans operate behind a veil. You cannot see God directly. You cannot touch the spiritual realm with your hands. And yet you chose good. Stay with me until the end, because what's coming is big. Every part matters, and there's a reason you're hearing this right now. Before we continue, I ask that you comment, "I am one of the chosen," if you feel these words are speaking directly to your spirit. This is necessary for what I'm about to reveal to you in the next part. Understand this well. You have to choose faith without having proof. You have to choose integrity without receiving an immediate reward. You choose grace without being certain that it even matters. And you did. You chose the right path while you were blind. You held on to faith while you were deaf to the divine voice. You acted with love without feeling confirmation that love was the answer. This is what fascinates the angels about the chosen ones. This is what made Archangel Michael pause to study your case. And this is precisely what impressed God himself. You demonstrated that unique quality that sets human souls apart from all creation. the ability to choose light while surrounded by total darkness, to choose faith when consumed by doubt, to choose love while drowning in sorrow. Now, listen carefully to this because it's something you didn't know. Not even Archangel Michael expected this from you so soon. When he received your file months ago, his assessment was normal. He saw your gifts and your potential, but his plans for your development had standard timelines. He expected you to reach this level of spiritual maturity much later, after more training and more obvious victories that would make faith easier for you. Miguel didn't expect you to demonstrate such advanced spiritual warfare skills while you're still going through your most difficult season. Breathe. Listen to this calmly. What you did, that moment of choosing grace over wrath, wasn't just a good moral decision. It was a devastating strategic blow to the forces that have been working against you. Let me explain how this really works. When darkness attacks one of the chosen ones, it has only one goal: to corrupt your frequency. They want to drag you into a fight on their level. Because when you respond to evil with evil or to hatred with hatred, you step outside of divine protection. You place yourself on ground where they have authority over you. Every attack you've endured has had this goal: to embitter you, to make you angry, to make you retaliate in kind. They wanted you to operate in the shadows so they could claim legal control over your life. But when you chose grace and responded with love, you did something that strategically destroyed them. You used their own energy against them. Listen carefully. In spiritual physics, negative energy thrown at someone who responds with positive energy doesn't disappear. That energy returns to its source, but it returns amplified. What they tried to use to destroy you ended up hitting them twice as hard because you didn't lower your standards. Don't go. Stay with me until the end, because what follows reveals how this will change your finances and relationships from now on. Before we continue, I want you to comment, "My light is my victory." I need you to confirm that you understand the power you hold in your hands. What they sent to destroy you became their own destruction. That darkness returned to them. And the most incredible thing is that you did this without even knowing it. Archangel Michael watched all of this unfold with profound awe, because what you demonstrated wasn't a technique you learned from a book, nor a rehearsed response. This comes from your essence, from who you truly are. You are a kind person by nature, someone who forgives wholeheartedly and loves deeply, even when everything around you screams that you should be different. This is what heaven didn't expect. They knew you had the potential, but they didn't expect you to reach this level so soon, under such difficult conditions and with so little support. You have exceeded all their projections for your growth. Listen carefully and don't miss what follows, because I'm going to show you real evidence that this is already happening in your life. Even if you didn't understand the reason, you've already experienced the results of this divine recognition. The first piece of evidence is that the attacks against you have been failing spectacularly. Think about the last few weeks. Think about those people who clearly wanted to hurt you, who talked behind your back, who worked against your interests, or who sent you negative energy. Now, look at what has happened to them. Problems that appeared in their lives out of nowhere. Situations they thought they had under control that suddenly spiraled out of control. Things that used to work for them that now mysteriously have stopped working. It's not a coincidence. It's not ordinary karma. It's your new spiritual state operating in real time. Because when God is impressed with soul, the protection surrounding it becomes impenetrable. Attacks not only fail, but they are reversed. What was meant to harm you turns around and strikes the one who sent it. Perhaps you've noticed that your enemies are going through many crises and wondered why. Now you know. Listen carefully to this. The second piece of evidence is that unusual peace you felt despite your problems. There have been recent times when, logically, you should have been devastated. The weight of your situation should have plunged you into anxiety. But somehow, you found calm. It's not that your problems have disappeared. It's that you have stability while everything around you is trembling. This peace isn't something you created yourself. It's a peace that was given to you. It's a direct result of heaven having its eyes upon you. When the universe focuses on a soul, it bestows upon it a supernatural tranquility that makes no sense to others. You felt this and wondered where it came from. Now you have the answer. Stay until the very last second, because the third piece of evidence is the strongest of all and reveals what will happen to your enemies in the coming days. Before we continue, Stay with me and say, I receive my supernatural peace. It's important that you declare that you accept this divine gift right now. Listen carefully, because this is the third piece of evidence. Your mental clarity has been increasing. Decisions that once confused you now seem clear. What was once a labyrinth now has an obvious way out. You are beginning to know things you have no logical way of knowing. This is happening because information is being downloaded directly to you. These aren't movie visions or strange voices. They are silent impressions, a sudden understanding, and an intuitive knowing that never fails. Your connection to God's wisdom has been upgraded. You now receive guidance much more frequently than before. And this is just the beginning. The fourth evidence is that the wrong people have left your life. Draining relationships have ended. People who were obstacles have simply walked away. Situations that were blocking your progress have resolved themselves. Perhaps you didn't do anything to make this happen. They just left. This is a divine reorganization. Your new spiritual level demands a new environment. People who don't fit in with where you're going are being systematically removed. Don't try to hold on to what heaven is taking away. The ground is being cleared for something much better. And here is the fifth piece of evidence. You have felt that something big is coming. You have an anticipation within you that you cannot explain. It is like being on the verge of a very important change. This is not your own imagination. It is prophetic awareness. Your spirit already senses what your mind does not yet understand. Something is coming, and it is directly connected to that recognition God gave you. Now, pay close attention, because I'm going to tell you what was decided about your future in that divine council. When God said that you reminded him why he created humans, a special protocol called accelerated fulfillment was activated. Normally, the chosen ones receive their blessings in standard time frames, years of preparation, and a gradual, step-by-step increase. But accelerated fulfillment changes the rules. It means that heaven has decided you've already proven yourself enough. Your character and integrity have eliminated the need for long waiting periods. What you've already demonstrated under fire qualifies you to receive now what would take others decades to achieve. You're not lagging behind. You're being propelled forward. Don't ignore this message, because the long wait is over for you. Every part matters, so don't close the video. Before we continue, I want to ask you to comment every 8 minutes if you can, or right now. I accept my divine acceleration. This is fundamental to sealing what is moving in your favor. Stay with me until the very last second, because I'm going to reveal what will be the first thing to materialize in your life thanks to this new protocol. Listen carefully, because this is what the acceleration protocol means in practice. Blessings that were scheduled for years from now are being brought forward to today. Opportunities that were planned for your future selves are available right now. Doors that weren't meant to open yet are unlocking ahead of schedule. You've already begun to notice this. Things are happening faster than you expected. Breakthroughs are appearing sooner than you anticipated. And there's movement in areas of your life that have been stagnant for a long time. And this is just the beginning. But there's more. The opposition against you is being systematically neutralized. Not just temporarily blocked, but permanently eliminated. Your enemies are being reassigned, and their attacks have been outlawed. The usual resistance that holds back the chosen ones has been removed from your path. You are entering a season of unusual favor. And it's not because you made a great physical effort, but because you demonstrated a character that qualifies you for this. But listen carefully, because this carries great responsibility. When heaven invests this level of attention in a soul, it's not just for that person's benefit. You're not being lifted up just so that you're okay. You are being positioned to make an impact that extends far beyond your personal life. The grace you demonstrated under pressure must flow through you to others. In the coming days and weeks, you will encounter people who are going through the exact same thing you have already overcome. People who are at that critical point where they must choose between bitterness and grace. People who are at the crossroads you have already crossed. You are there to show them that it is possible. You will demonstrate by example that choosing grace under pressure can be achieved. You will prove that maintaining integrity when everything is pushing you to fail is a real possibility. And you won't do it with boring religious sermons, but through who you have become. Your mere presence will have a frequency that will activate the potential of others. Your story will awaken those who are ready to listen. Your transformation will be proof for those who doubt. That's why heaven took so long in your case. It's not just because you need blessings, although you will receive them in abundance, but because your elevation will allow countless people connected to you to rise as well. You are becoming a bearer of that very quality that impress God. Don't go. We're reaching the final part where the last step of this transformation is revealed. Stay with me. Before we continue, write in the comments, I am light for others. It's time to accept your role in this divine plan. That light will be transmitted to everyone you meet. The attitude that caught God's attention and surprised even Archangel Michael is now ingrained in your spiritual DNA. It's already part of who you are and will spread to anyone who gets close enough to you. I want to reveal to you what Michael specifically wrote in the final report of your case. Every soul that reaches a level of review by an archangel receives a classification, a name that summarizes their true spiritual identity. That title follows you for the rest of your journey on earth and beyond. Your classification has been recorded as Proven Warrior of Light. Let me explain what this means, because every word is key. Proven means you've already passed the test. It's not that you have potential or that you could be someone great. Many chosen ones have potential, but very few prove it under real conditions of pain and attack. You did. Your title isn't based on what you could do, but on what you've already accomplished. Warrior means you're not a passive observer. You don't just sit around waiting for the truth. You embody it. You don't just believe in the light. You actively push it against the darkness. You are engaged in active spiritual combat, not watching from the sidelines. And light specifies the frequency with which you fight. Look, even warriors can fight from the wrong places. Some fight from anger. That works, but it's limited. Others fight out of duty, but they lack strength. But you fight from the light, which means you fight from love, grace, and true goodness. This is the highest frequency that exists in spiritual warfare. You respond to the darkness by being light, not by becoming part of the problem. That's what made your response so devastating to the enemy and so impressive to heaven. This classification follows you now. This is how you are known in the celestial records. This is how the angels speak of your case. It is a lens through which heaven views everything that happens in your life and changes the way you will be treated from now on. Listen carefully to this. Proven warriors of light receive absolute priority in resources. Your prayers go to the front of the line. Your needs are met ahead of the standard process. Your situation receives attention that others don't. And it's not because you are better than other souls, but because you have demonstrated that you can handle high-level responsibility. Heaven always invests more in those who prove they are reliable with what they have already received. Don't skip what follows, because if you want to learn to operate consciously as the warrior you are, I have final instructions for you. Before moving on to the last part, stay with me and say, I am a warrior of light. Seal your new identity right now. If you feel you're already part of this identity, I have something for you. I prepared some materials that cost less than a pizza, but include a complete audiobook and a 5-minute video meditation guide. If you believe you deserve the right tools to navigate this new chapter of your life, access is available right now in the description and the first pinned comment. Now listen carefully, because I need to give you the final piece of this revelation. It's the message that was recorded specifically for you to receive today. When the discussion of your case concluded in heaven and your ranking was officially recorded, the acceleration protocol was activated and a personal note was added to your file. This isn't something just anyone receives. It's reserved only for cases that truly impacted celestial observers, cases that demonstrated something so great they'll serve as an example for future generations. Your case received that distinction. Let me share what it says, because this is for you. Your response to pain has been recorded as evidence that human beings can operate at frequencies we did not expect them to reach while in a physical body. You have reminded us that humanity's limitations are not a design flaw, but the result of choices made under pressure. You chose something different and, in doing so, expanded what we understood to be possible for your species. Listen to this with your heart. Your file has been flagged for special attention. not because you need corrections, but because your progress is now a case study of how a chosen one can maximize their potential even under the most challenging circumstances. Therefore, you are being positioned for tasks that match your abilities. These tasks are not a punishment. They are a privilege. You have shown that you can handle difficulty with grace, so you'll be entrusted with situations where grace is desperately needed. That attitude that impressed us will continue to be tested, not because we doubt you, but because each time you succeed, you grow stronger and become the evidence others need to see. You have made heaven proud. And this is not empty praise. It is a documented assessment. Walk forward from this day forward knowing that your case has been noticed at the highest levels. Everything that comes your way has been filtered through the recognition of who you have proven yourself to be. This message had to reach you today. Do not ignore it. Don't leave without sealing this video. Comment, "I make heaven proud," and share this message with someone who needs a reminder of their worth. You've made it this far because you are a proven warrior of light. Victory is already yours. You were meant to find this video at this exact moment in your journey. Not before, not after. Right now, when you needed confirmation that your decisions do matter. When you needed proof that the universe was watching you and that everything you've endured was building up to something great. Now you know. Your attitude impressed God. Archangel Michael didn't expect you to come this far in the midst of your storm. The heavenly council recorded your every step, and your entire future has been completely recalibrated based on what you demonstrated. The most powerful thing of all is that you didn't know this was happening while you were making those difficult choices. You didn't know heaven was watching you when you chose grace over bitterness. You didn't know your response would trigger this level of divine attention. But that's what makes you special. You weren't performing for an audience or trying to impress anyone. You were simply being yourself. And who you are awestruck the creator of all that exists. If this revelation has touched the depths of your soul, and you confirm that you are one of the chosen ones whose attitude changed their destiny, write 777 in the comments. Do this to amplify this frequency of celestial recognition in your life. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications. You can't afford to miss the upcoming revelations about how heaven is orchestrating your breakthrough. Share this video with someone who needs to know that their quiet choices and private victories are being recorded and will be rewarded very soon. Don't let someone you love continue to feel alone in the fight.